Welcome to your Daily 5 for Tuesday, November 19th, 2024. Today's movie is a recommendation from a listener, Mike, thank you Mike, who sent this movie along an email and recommended it, and it's unusual for a couple of reasons, at least in terms of movies I've reviewed lately. One is, it is a pretty straightforward and fairly well-budgeted, I guess you would term it a spy thriller, or an espionage thriller, kind of a Tom Clancy type of tale, something like Hunt for Red October, that type of thing. So that's, it's nothing weird about it. No, it's not very low budget. It is basically a movie that feels like it would be in theaters in the late 90s, with a decent cast, Donald Sutherland, Ben Kingsley, and Aidan Quinn. And two, I normally say with my reviews, hey, if you're not into this movie within the first 10 to 15 minutes, then just stop watching it. But in the case of today's movie, which is 1997's The Assignment, you actually should stay through the first 10 to 15 minutes because the movie changes from what it starts off as to what it eventually actually spends most of its time being. It starts off as a very, I guess the closest analogy would be a Michael Bay type of action-y set, a bunch of action set pieces that are basically giving us the backstory for Donald Sutherland's character and a real character portrayed by Aidan Quinn. He's playing two roles in this movie. A terrorist, whose name I'm going to probably get wrong here, Ilich Ramirez Sanchez, I believe, who was also known as Carlos the Jackal. And in the same year that The Assignment came out, there was a Bruce Willis film called The Jackal, which was basically the same exact story. That's why this movie, which I believe was originally going to be titled either Day of the Jackal or The Jackal, was changed to The Assignment because the Bruce Willis film was coming out. Now, between the two of them, I think this is a far better film. I remember seeing the Bruce Willis movie, and I didn't think it was all that great. I didn't think it was awful. I just didn't think there was anything special about it. The Assignment, I think, works better because it is a more character-driven film. And that's what I mean about that opening 10 minutes. That will make you think that this is going to be almost a, Demolition Man or Face Off type of thing where there's going to be two characters kind of violently jousting throughout the movie all over the place. And that's really not what it is. It's just setting up why Donald Sutherland has such a desire to see the Jackal put away. You're seeing him encountering this person in the past and why it sets up this personal vendetta for him. And that's why when Aidan Quinn comes into it, and this is not really a secret, if you watch the trailer you'll know this right away, Aidan Quinn is playing both roles because the idea is that Donald Sutherland finds somebody who looks exactly like the Jackal and figures out there's a way to bring him in using this person, in setting him up as doing things that the real Jackal is doing to irritate his allies and get them to come after him and bring him in. So that's the basic premise of the movie. And after that opening 10 to 15 minutes, what we really get is a much more character-driven piece, which is what a lot of the reviews will point out is, okay, this looks like an action film, but what it really is about these people who are working to a common purpose and what it's doing to them, what effect it's having, and where they're driven to be. And so really, most of the movie is Donald Sutherland, Ben Kingsley, and Aidan Quinn kind of trying to figure out how they're going to get the Jackal and trying to figure out and working together in training on to that goal. And that's the majority of the film. So it is much more of a character film than you might think seeing a trailer for it and watching that opening 10 minutes. But it's really well done. Now, it definitely has some of the trappings of being a 90s film. There's some dodgy effects work. Some of the compositing is not the smoothest, but overall, it really doesn't matter because the important thing is the performances by the main actors. And those are all uniformly excellent. And outside of a couple little things here and there, which stand out as a little bit strange, and again, feel like they're more a byproduct of the time the movie was made than anything else, it performs very, very well. And I really, really enjoyed it. So I would say, because I know I review a lot of weird things and stuff that normal people are never going to watch, but as far as something that, again, kind of reminded me of Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, those type of movies, if you enjoy those, and you never saw this film, which I don't think I ever saw. I don't even remember this film being out, ever. I don't think I ever saw the poster for it. Maybe I saw it in a VHS store, who knows. But if you passed it over or have never heard of it, I would say it's worth watching. It was $4 to rent on Amazon, which I think was well worth it. And it's about 2 hours long, and I really, really enjoyed it. So again, especially maybe if you were let down by the Bruce Willis film, this is better. So it's the 1997 film, The Assignment, and I would say for $4 on Amazon, well worth watching. Later.